What's up guys, it's Killer Kev and this is my best Warzone graphic settings for PC. These work for me. I get high FPS, better visibility. They might not work for you, but I hope it does give you a boost in FPS. So let's get right into it. And I know a bunch of you guys have been asking for my PC settings and my graphic settings. So I'm about to give you the sauce. Okay, so for display mode, I have full screen exclusive. Display monitor, you use your gaming monitor that you're gonna be using it on. Display adapter, make sure you're using your graphics card. I have a 4080. I got that pretty graphics card, I think like 4 or 5 months ago. Pretty expensive, but it's worth it. I love it. Screen refresh rate, I have it at 240, 239, 240. Display resolution, 1920 by 1080. Aspect ratio, I do automatic. This is for showing pre-shaders loading. If you have like weird bugs in game or like things are not like rendering properly, you can just always restart your shaders. Display gamma, 2.2. Brightness, I have my brightness at 55. I feel like that's like the sweet spot for... I usually do that for all games. Yeah, I mean, obviously every game's different, but I usually stick around 55 for all games. In this game, you might want to do 55 to 60 because there's some really dark corners in Warzone or in Modern Warfare 3, like multiplayer. So 55 to 60, you can try 65. I wouldn't go higher than 65. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, I have it as on plus boost. I've tried the others, which is, you know, off and on, and I have better FPS with on plus boost. Desync, I always have that off. Desync and menus, I always have that off. For custom frame rate limit, press show more. I have mine uncapped, or I guess it's capped at 300, but I usually go all the way up. I have a 4080. It can handle 300 if it ever gets to 300. Menu custom frame rate limit, I keep that at 120. I don't want my when I'm in the menu setting, like changing guns or putting attachments on guns where it's like really laggy or low FPS in general. So I keep that at 120. And then autofocus custom frame rate, I put that at 5. If I want to alt tab to Chrome or go on Discord or something like that, I keep that at 5 because I want to lower its resources that it's using. And then focus mode, 0. Now we get into quality. Again, these are my best settings for my PC. They might not work for you, but they work great for me, and I hope they work great for you as well. So graphics preset, they're gonna change when you mess around with all this stuff. So if you have it at like ultra extreme, whatever, it's gonna change. It's gonna change to custom. Render resolution, keep that at 100. Always keep it at 100. Don't go higher than that. Dynamic resolution, I had this set as off. Upscaling and sharpening, I have this also set at off. I used to run NVIDIA DLSS. There we go. NVIDIA DLSS. I used to run that, but I was getting like, and I used to run Fidelity FX Cast, but I was getting like weird like FPS drops, and it was just weird. So I just turned that off. Path tracing and ray reconstruction, I have this as off. VRAM scale target, I've watched hundreds of YouTube videos explaining where you want to put this, but the best one I've had or I've watched where my game still is looking pretty and feeling nice is at 60. I recommend putting it at 60, and then if it feels like you can go higher, you can go to 70, but I keep mine at 60. Variable rate shading, I have this at on. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation, I have this off. I don't want some weird pixelation going on. I don't want AI to know my next move, you know? So we're just gonna keep it as off. Texture resolution, I have this as set as low. Texture filter anisotropic, I have this set as high. Depth of field, I have this set as off. You don't want to have like these out of focus blur around your gun. I just don't need that. I like to see my enemies if they're peeking the corner right here or something like that. You know what I mean? So I keep that off, and it's just a distraction. Detail quality level, I have this set as low. I don't care about the grass or foliage or various, you know, various other stuff. Particle resolution, I have this set as very low. I feel like this is very taxing on your PC. You really don't need that. Bullet impacts, I had this set as off. I've always had it off, even since Warzone 1. On-demand texture streaming, I set this as off. Local texture streaming quality, I have this set as low. Shadow quality, normal. Green space shadows, I set this as off. Ambient occlusion, I set this as off. Screen space reflections, I set this as off. And static reflection quality, I have this set as low. I don't need to see myself in the mirror if I walk by a mirror in-game. So, yeah. Tessellation off. Telemetric quality low. Preferred physics quality, I set this as off. Weather grid volume, set this as off. And water quality, I set this off as well. So basically off, low, off, off, off. From there, we can go to view. My field of view is always at 120. I'm always going to put the highest, you know, field of view, FOV. I'm always going to max it out. You have no recoil on PC when you do this. You also need to set your ADS field of view to affected. So it mimics what your field of view is when you ADS. Weapon field of view, this is kind of, you know, personal preference, but I have mine set as wide. You see a lot more. Your gun looks smaller and you see a lot more like around you. It's weird, but I like it wide. Pause. Third person field of view. We're not going to be playing third person, so I mean, you can max it out at 90. Same here. World motion blur. Please set this as off. I hate when people have this on. Please set it as off. I hate going to people's streams and I see world motion blur is on, and it just you lose frames, and it's just like not. Keep that in campaign. If you want to play campaign, have this on. But other than that, turn this off for like Warzone multiplayer. Turn it off. And weapon motion blur, same here, same here. Turn this off. Turn both of these off. For game set to 0. I don't need like a film grain overlay in my game. First person camera movement, had this as least 50%. Always have this at least. Same thing for third person, but we're never gonna be playing third person modes. So that's just me. You guys might, but least and third person ADS. Spectator camera, keep this as game perspective. I hate the helmet camera, it's so stupid. Inverted flashbang, this is a personal preference. If you don't like being flashbanged with a white bright screen and it's burning your eyes, turn it to black. Otherwise, you'll have it as white and it'll burn your eyes. But it's personal preference. I'm so used to it, so I just have it as off. Audio settings are weird. You can't really hear in this game to begin with. So audio mix, I always switch between PC speaker and headphone bass boost. I honestly don't know which one's the best. I feel like I hear better footsteps in headphone bass boost. It's just weird. I just don't understand like which one is better. So I usually switch between these two whenever I have like a bad game. I just switch them. So it's up to you, but I usually use PC speaker. If not, I use headphone bass boost. And always make sure this is stereo. For some reason, when I do Windows default, I don't hear people in game. So I just changed it to stereo and that fixed like my problem. So yeah, that worked for me. I don't know. It might work for you. I don't know. Massive volume. This game's really loud, as you can tell. Airstrikes everywhere. Gunshots are super loud. You can't hear footsteps for some reason, but what can you do? Massive volume I have set to 75. Gameplay music volume, I had this set as 10 to 12. I think that's in-game music that you hear if it's like the last 5 teams left, last 5 players left. They start playing some weird music, and I just don't need to hear that. I want to hear footsteps. Dialogue volume, I set that as very low, 28. I don't really need to have, what's his name, Graves, in my ear screaming out there's an enemy precision airstrike. And he's like blaring it in my ears. So I just dropped that to 28. Effects volume, I set that to 100. Voice chat volume, I set that to 5. Cinematic music volume, I set this as 12. And word tracks volume, I set this as 0. Don't care for the word tracks. Voice chat, I set as on. Game voice channel, all lobby. I like to hear proximity chat and last words voice chat. So I can get some cool clips of people, you know, cursing at me or something. It's always funny. I'm gonna give you a little cheat sheet. I see a lot of pros use it, and it's honestly so smart. I don't know why more people don't use it, but intent interface, go to HUD bounds. Pretend like you're imagining you're playing the game. You'll have like your map here on the top left, you know, all your stuff right here, right here. I would bring this all the way like this and apply. Basically, you'll have your, instead of having your map all the way tucked in the left corner, it's a little bit easier to see closer to the center. It might feel weird a couple of games, but I wouldn't go all the way out like this. I wouldn't go all the way out. I just think it might give you a little bit of an advantage. I feel like it works perfectly for me. A lot of the pros use it. A lot of pros do it. So I would just try it out and see if you like it. Color customization. Here you can change, you know, all your different, you know, colors for your teams, enemy, all that good stuff. I really haven't played much with this. I know if I see an enemy red, I go to it. So that's all cool with me. Color filter, I have this set as color filter 2, and then I have color filter target set to both. It just helps a little. You can see a little bit more, see a little bit better colors. World color intensity set this to 100. Interface color intensity set this to 100 as well. You just get that full burst of color in your game instead of that all a Sheikah look. Here, if you scroll down a little bit more, minimap shape, always keep this as square. Always have the minimap rotation on. Horizontal compass, I had this as on. That's personal preference, but I have it as on. Crosshairs on, and put on the center dot. This will help you shoot your shots a little bit better. And I have mine set as default. You can have it larger if you want, but I like the smaller dot. Hit markers visual, have this on. Damage based hit markers, have this on as well. Players names, I have this set as abbreviated, and I feel like that's the best because it can get too cluttered with the clan name as well. So keep this as abbreviated. Make sure don't put this as icon only. You want to see your enemy name. So in-game text set, you can have this on or off, personal preference. I have it on so I can talk some crap in game. Now, keyboard and mouse settings. Mouse sensitivity, that's preference. I have my DPI set at 600 and my mouse sensitivity at 6.5. It's pretty fast, but I like doing 180s, 360s. So that's me. It's personal preference. So go into Plunder, test it out, see which one you like best. ADS sensitivity multiplier. I keep this at 1. Everything else 1, and also keep this at gradual. You don't want mouse smoothing on. You don't want any mouse delay. Well, actually, I have mine at 80. I think anything above 100 is a big delay. So keep this at 80. Or keep it at default. Whatever it's set as default, just keep it at that. Mouse filtering 0. Mouse acceleration. You do not want that. Turn that off. And that wraps it up. This is my best Warzone graphic settings for PC. Mind you, this works for my PC specs and my PC, build. I'm not sure how it's going to work well for you, but I hope it does. And if it does, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this content, please drop a sub. Tell me what I need to work on, what I need to do better at. If you guys liked it, all the criticism and comments, I read fully. I read them every day, and I love to improve and better myself each time I stream or make a video for you guys. So yeah, I really do appreciate if you drop a sub, give a like, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. And here's a quick word to our sponsors. No one. This is not a sponsored video at all. Someone sponsor me.